Welcome back to our channel, Coin Enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the world of Washington quarters, the classic U.S. coins loved by collectors and investors alike. While most quarters are worth just 25 cents, some rare editions are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. In this video we'll explore the most valuable Washington quarters ever minted, uncover the history behind them, and share tips on how to spot these treasures. Whether you're just starting your coin collection or are a seasoned collector, you won't want to miss these rare finds. Let's get started. First up, the 1967 Washington quarter belongs to a special period known as the no-mint mark era of 1965 to 1967. During this time, the U.S. Mint removed mint marks entirely to discourage coin hoarding caused by the silver shortage of the early 1960s. Even though this quarter looks similar to earlier silver coins, it is actually struck in cupronickel clad, not silver, making it a turning point in American coin manufacturing. Historically, the Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design by John Flanagan features Washington's profile on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. Even in 1967, this classic design remained unchanged, and it would continue to be used for several decades before modern designs took over. In fine condition like the coin you're asking about, some light wear is visible across Washington's hair, forehead, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. The rims remain strong and most details are still clear. These circulated quarters are appreciated by collectors who enjoy coins with a bit of history and charm while still being affordable. When it comes to rarity, the 1967 Washington quarter is not considered rare, because the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of them to keep up with circulation demands. However, condition, errors, and historical interest can still give certain examples special value and desirability among collectors. Let's talk about real market value. A 1967 quarter in fine, F12 EF15, condition typically sells for about 25 cents to $1 in the general market. It is worth slightly above face value mostly due to collector demand rather than any precious metal content. It is a common date, but still a great piece of mid-20th century American coin history. However, collectors do pay more for high-grade examples, especially those graded MS65 or higher, which can reach $20 to $40, and the rare top-graded MS67 coins can exceed $300 to $800, depending on auction demand. Special errors, like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets, can also dramatically increase value, sometimes reaching over $1,000. In the context of American history, the 1967 Washington quarter reflects a period of major economic and industrial transition. The U.S. had just removed silver from circulating coins, and millions of Americans were uncomfortable with the new clad coinage. This makes the 1967 quarter a symbolic piece of the change from precious metal coins to modern-day currency. For collectors making content, videos like this help educate new hobbyists on the difference between silver-era coins and clad coins, revealing how even common pieces can hold important historical meaning. Many viewers love learning how everyday coins in their pocket can tell stories about past economic challenges, minting innovations, and national decision-making. So if you have a 1967 Washington quarter with no mint mark, especially in fine condition, it may not make you rich, but it certainly offers a valuable slice of American heritage. Keep it safe, enjoy it as part of your growing collection, and keep searching. You never know when the next rare treasure will appear in your change. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more coin videos just like this. Next up, the 1970 quarter was minted in Denver, marked by the small D mint mark on the obverse, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. This coin belongs to the modern clad era, introduced after silver was removed from U.S. circulating coinage in 1965. Even though the 1970 quarter looks similar in color to earlier silver pieces, it is actually made from copper nickel layered over a copper core. Historically, the Washington quarter design was introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse by John Flanagan features a strong portrait of Washington, while the reverse displays a powerful eagle with spread wings. By 1970, This design had already become a symbol of American currency, cherished by millions and used daily across the country. In good condition G4 to G6, the 1970D quarter shows noticeable wear across Washington's hair, cheeks, and the eagle's wings. While the details are softened, the date, mint mark, and major shapes remain clear and readable. Collectors appreciate these circulated examples for their historical value and accessibility, making them great starter coins for beginners. Now let's talk about rarity. The 1970D quarter is not considered rare, since the Denver Mint produced over 417 million of them. Most entered circulation immediately and stayed there for decades. Because of this large mintage, the coin is common today, especially in worn condition. As for market value, a 1970D quarter in good condition is worth around 25 cents to 50 cents. Slightly above face value but still affordable. Its value mainly comes from collector interest rather than scarcity. Higher grade examples, especially those in uncirculated condition, can climb to $5 to $15, while superb grades like MS66 may sell for $100 to $250 at auctions. The real excitement comes from rare error varieties. Certain 1970 quarters with dramatic mistakes, like off-center strikes, doubled dies, and clipped planchets, can reach anywhere from $50 to over $1,000, depending on the severity and condition. These errors are the true key to finding big value in the 1970 quarter series. From a historical perspective, the 1970 quarter represents a time of economic change and technological advancement in U.S. coinage. The mint had fully transitioned to clad coins, the country was experiencing inflation, and demand for durable everyday currency was high. This makes the 1970D quarter an important piece reflecting America's shift into the modern monetary system. For viewers who enjoy collecting or coin roll hunting, the 1970D quarter teaches a great lesson. Not every valuable coin needs to be rare. Sometimes its significance comes from the story it carries. Understanding details like mint marks, composition, and condition can turn simple pocket change into a fun and educational discovery. So if you have a 1970D Washington quarter in good condition, it might not be a high-value coin, but it is still a meaningful part of American history and a solid addition to any collection. Keep it safe, keep learning, and keep searching. Your next rare find may be just one coin away. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more amazing coin videos next up. The 1978 quarter belongs to the clad era of U.S. coinage, a period that began in 1965 after the mint removed silver from circulating quarters. This coin is made from a copper-nickel outer layer bonded to a pure copper core, giving it that bright, metallic shine collectors love. The absence of a mint mark on your coin confirms that it was minted in Philadelphia, which was one of the largest producers of U.S. circulating coinage at the time. Even though this coin does not contain silver, its pristine, uncirculated condition gives it a level of desirability that circulated examples simply cannot match. The Washington quarter design used in 1978 traces all the way back to 1932 when it was created to commemorate the 200th birthday of President George Washington. Sculptor John Flanagan crafted the now legendary portrait, capturing Washington in a calm, commanding profile. The reverse features a majestic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, framed by olive branches symbolizing peace. This design remained unchanged for decades, making the 1978 edition part of the final era before the U.S. switched to state and national park quarters in the 1990s and 2000s. Your particular coin, being uncirculated, stands out immediately. Uncirculated quarters from 1978 retain their original mint luster, showing sharp details in Washington's hair, jawline, and the eagle's feathers. No circulation wear, no scratches from handling, and no deep marks from pocket movement. Just clean, crisp beauty preserved for decades. Coins in this condition are becoming less common each year, especially because many 1978 quarters were used heavily in everyday transactions, from gas purchases to grocery runs, leaving most heavily worn. As far as rarity goes, the 1978 Washington quarter is considered common in general, because the Philadelphia Mint struck a massive 521 million coins that year. However, rarity in numismatics is not always about mintage. it's often about condition. While hundreds of millions were made, very few survived in bright, uncirculated condition, and even fewer have been preserved well enough to reach high grading levels. That's why collectors still eagerly hunt for uncirculated or near-perfect examples, especially those that might earn high grades from PCGS or NGC. Now let's break down the market value. A typical 1978 no-mint mark quarter in uncirculated condition usually sells for around $3 to $8 depending on eye appeal and luster. Higher-grade examples, such as MS-64 to MS-65, can reach values of $10 to $25, while the truly exceptional, sharply struck MS-66 coins may sell for $50 to $120. The rarest ones, graded MS-67, are extremely difficult to find and can bring $300 to $600 plus at auction. These high-end values reflect not rarity of date, but rarity of condition. Collectors also keep an eye out for error varieties which can greatly increase value. Though the 1978 quarter doesn't have famous major errors like some earlier dates, there are still off-center strikes, doubled dies, die cracks, and clipped planchets that can fetch $50 to several $100 depending on severity and clarity. Error collecting is one of the hottest segments of the hobby today, so even a small mint mistake can transform a normal quarter into a valuable numismatic piece. Historically, the year 1978 was a time of economic struggle for the United States, with inflation rising and the need for durable, long-lasting currency becoming more important than ever. The mint responded by striking large numbers of clad coins built to withstand heavy circulation. This makes your uncirculated example even more impressive. It survived a time when coins were meant to be spent quickly and aggressively, yet it remains untouched, carrying a perfect snapshot of American minting technology from nearly half a century ago. For collectors, the 1978 quarter represents a bridge between old and new eras of American coinage. It stands at the end of the traditional Washington Eagle reverse design and just before major coinage changes in the decades that followed. Many audiences love learning how ordinary-looking coins like this hold deep historical importance, and showcasing a preserved, uncirculated example adds an extra layer of visual beauty to your content. So if you have a 1978 Washington quarter with no mint mark in uncirculated condition, you're holding a miniature time capsule from the late 1970s, one with collectible value, historical charm, and outstanding preservation. It may not be a rare date, but in such pristine condition, it becomes a meaningful treasure for any collector. Make sure to protect it, store it carefully, and keep expanding your collection. And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more rare coin guides and exciting numismatic discoveries next up. The 1996 D quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. By this time, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of clad quarters each year to keep up with national circulation demand. The 1996 D quarter is made from copper nickel over a pure copper core, continuing the clad composition that replaced silver coinage in 1965. Even in old condition, this coin has a sturdy, durable structure that made it last decades in regular use. The design itself is a classic. Sculptor John Flanagan's portrait of George Washington has been a trusted symbol on American quarters since 1932. The obverse features Washington's confident profile, while the reverse shows the powerful heraldic eagle standing on a bundle of arrows, framed by olive branches symbolizing peace. By 1996, this design had already been in circulation for 64 years and was only a few years away from being replaced by the famous state quarters program. Your coin is described as being in old condition, meaning it shows clear signs of wear from many years of circulation. You might see flattening in Washington's hair details, softening of the eagle's wings, and general fading across the high points. Although old condition reduces collectible value, it also gives the coin a sense of history. Imagine the countless hands it passed through during the late 1990s and early 2000s. When it comes to rarity, the 1996 D Washington quarter is not considered rare. The Denver Mint produced an astonishing 927 million coins that year, placing it among the higher mintage dates of the decade. Because of this huge production, Most circulated examples like yours remain common today, and millions are still in everyday use across the United States. Now let's talk about market value. A 1996 D quarter in old or heavily circulated condition generally sells for 25 cents to 40 cents, just slightly above face value. Collectors usually save circulated examples only if they have personal meaning or if they want to complete a basic date and mint collection. However, the story changes when we look at coins in better condition. Higher grade examples from this year, especially uncirculated or mint state coins, can have respectable value. A nice uncirculated 1996 D quarter can sell for around $5 to $15, while superb high-grade coins graded MS66 or MS67 can reach $50 to over $300. The highest grades are scarce because most coins were circulated aggressively before collectors saved them. Collectors also keep an eye out for errors, which can make an ordinary 1996 D quarter surprisingly valuable. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and doubled dies are among the types of mistakes that can turn a regular quarter into a coin worth $50 to several $100s, depending on the severity and clarity of the error. Historically, the 1990s were a transitional time for American coinage. The long-running eagle reverse was nearing the end of its era, inflation had changed the buying power of coins, and the U.S. Mint was preparing for the biggest circulating coin program in its history. The 50-state quarters program launched in 1999. The 1996 D quarter, therefore, represents one of the final years of the classic Washington Eagle design before it disappeared forever. So if you have a 1996 D Washington quarter in old condition, it may not be a rare or high-value coin, but it is definitely a piece of modern U.S. coin history. It marks the end of an era, millions of memories, and decades of American commerce. Keep it safe, keep learning, and keep searching, because every coin tells a story. And if you enjoyed this video script, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more amazing coin discoveries. Thanks for watching.